Well, good evening and welcome to the Handon Online Footy Show once again for a Wednesday night. And it's pretty cold, it's pretty wintry, it's pretty blustery outside. And Hilly, I'm sporting the Hampton League beanie, mate. You had the big freeze one on. You could have kept it on, mate, because it's absolutely freezing.
Well, it is a bit freezing. I should have probably brought my Hampton League one. You might be kind enough to give it to me, mate, especially when I've got nothing on top, just to keep us nice and warm. But yeah, she's fresh.
Have a look at that nude nut, mate. That is magnificent. What are you shaving that? What, just every couple of weeks?
Yeah, I don't know. Shave it probably every couple of days.
That is brilliant. Hey, listen, a wonderful round 8 of the Hampton Football Netball League, of course, last weekend. We'll get to our highlights of the Koroit v Portland game a little bit later, but big round of football. We're nearly at the halfway mark this weekend, Hilly. Looking forward to it too. It is Portland taking on the South Warnerville Roosters. Massive game for both these clubs. It's going to be a beauty, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. The Portland Tigers, we spoke about it last week, Stewie, that Koroit this week, South Warnerville, and then they go back into Warnerville when the rounds start resuming again. So 3 big weeks for the Portland Tigers, and no doubt they would have taken some learnings out of the loss to Koroit last week. Back home against the Roosters. The Roosters, they've been travelling really nice, and I'm looking forward to catching up with our guest and sort of getting his insights. But, they had a little slip up against North Warnerville. I know they had a few sick and so forth, and but they've got so much depth, and it's going to be interesting to see what their best 21 looks like.
Well, especially when you get a couple of kids coming back. You know, Will White's one that springs to mind.
Yeah, Miles McCluggage,
Archie Stevens when he's not committed to Carlton, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be interesting to get that mix right, isn't it? Hey, we've got some special guests. Of course, Lockie Huppatz is going to join us from the Portland Tigers. He's a young gun, mate. He is an absolute superstar, so we're going to talk to him shortly. But we're going to go to the Zoom call now and talk to one of South Warnerville's really consistent footballers. The last couple of years, I've been super impressed with the way this guy's going about his footy. And I'm speaking about Corey Gallichan. And Corey, how are you, buddy?
Good, lads. How are you?
Mate, fantastic. And great to, I suppose, have you on, mate. But you and Hilly, a couple of Kerman's Hamburgers' finest ever chefs over the duty, mate. Used to cook me up plenty of, what did I have? An egg and bacon roll with double sauce, double bacon, double onion, double cheese. And you used to look after me, gal.
Make sure you burn the bacon. That was the number one thing there.
Well, you had to chuck the bacon on for about half an hour before Stewie come and picked it up, I reckon, Cod.
Yeah, I reckon he was running a bit late too anyway. So, two of the best here with you, Stewie.
Hey, mate, great times and a lot of great kids and a lot of great people have come through that magnificent organisation in Kerman's Hamburgers. But, mate, we're here to talk about footy and what a massive game this weekend. Coming up against a side, and I'll tell you what, I reckon they're 3 or 4 goals better over at Portland or the Portland Tigers. They just seem to get a really good turnout. The boys kind of light up the old heater underneath that shed and they get into the contest. It's going to be a big game Saturday, Corey.
Yeah, you're not wrong. Portland always hard to beat over there, regardless where they are on the ladder. But, both teams going really well. Looking forward to getting over there and hopefully, have a good game and hopefully get away with the 4 points.
Hey, Cod, I've loved the Roosters' start to the season. It's been super. I think some missing ingredients that we probably hadn't seen in previous years is your forward structure. Obviously, a lot had rested on sort of Shannon Bex's shoulders the last couple of seasons. Adding Dylan Weir, Jack Dye in there. Geez, it's add a little more versatility to your lineup, I reckon.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He's very versatile. He's good on the ground and good in the air, and Weary's just another big body down there. But and like Sam Kelly, he's been really consistent as well. So we've got a lot of options going forward, but we're sort of finding we might not be delivering at the best at the minute. So that's something we've got to work on this week over in Portland.
And certainly firepower. That's the key now, isn't it? And the other one that you haven't touched on, Ricky Henderson, because he's got a bit of size about him, Ricky, and one-on-one, he's very hard to match up on, isn't he?
Yeah, 100%. Obviously he's been super. He can just flick a switch and turn it on whenever he wants to. So, and especially around the 50-metre arc, getting those handball receives for long goals. He's been really good, playing permanent forward this year. So very exciting for us.
Hey, mate, you're 7-1 after 8 rounds. You can't have done anything else. You guys are going super. Is there any 1 or 2 things that I guess Coach Battistello's probably identified that you still need to sort of brush up on heading into the latter parts of the season?
Yeah, as I said before, just delivery into our forwards. We're sort of, just bombing it, knowing that we've got the big bodies down there, we're sort of just bombing it in rather than sort of lowering our eyes and trying hitting up that easy option. That's one. one thing. That's the main thing we've been focusing on the last couple of weeks. So, yeah.
What about Ollie Bridgewater, mate? I've loved what I've seen so far, and we've only seen a couple of games, but I was really impressed with him out of Bushfield a couple of weeks ago. He just has a crack, doesn't he, mate? He's just really improving his football each and every week.
Yeah, he's been huge. He had a taste of it last year. I think last year was his first time playing in the ruck, so it was massive for him to come up against some of the bigger names last year, and then this year he's just taking his game to a new level. He's fit, he's strong, and he can jump well and jump into them. So he's given the midfielders first use, and yeah, look, he's been super. One of our young lads that have excelled this year for sure.
Speaking of fit, Josh Saunders, the couple of games I've seen him play, just runs and runs and runs, gets a lot of the footy, accumulates so much. He's our leader of our Pit Stop Menswear MVP award at the moment on 12 votes. What a season he's had to date, and geez, you must love what he's doing at the moment at the Roosters, Josh Saunders.
For sure, and there's no surprise that he's leading that award. He works super hard, good trainer, super fit. He's a good leader around the footy club as well for the young boys, and he puts in the work, and it shows on a Saturday with his performances. So he gives, he's got a lot of drive to that midfield. He pushes to the contest really well, and as you say, accumulates the footy and gets it into our forward. So yeah, he's been super.
Yeah, absolutely. I reckon your midfield's the key for you guys, isn't it? You got Saunders, Archie Stevens when he's up and going, mate, and playing for the Roosters. Liam Ewell, Hussey can run through there. There's a fair bit of, possession gathering winners in there, isn't there, Corey? That certainly hard to stop.
100%. Nick Thompson still goes through there. Young Jonah Marr, who debuted early in the season, he's been really good in there as well. So when everyone's playing their role, that's when we're at our best, and everyone's helping each other out and doing their bit. That's as I said, that's when we're at our best, and winning games.
Beautifully done, mate. Well, I'll tell you what, looking forward to the contest this weekend. And what was your go-to burger at Kermon's, mate, back in the heyday? What was, you get the old knockoff burger, mate. What was your burger of choice?
Oh, I did more myself. Egg bacon, double cheese, salami, double onion, and double sauce. So get into one of those, I reckon, if you are.
I tell you, I used to put a bit of salami, actually, back in the day.
Underrated. Very underrated, the salami.
No, absolutely. Hey, I haven't had a Kermon's for ages. It's really making me hungry for it.
Well, the night to have it.
Oh, isn't it? Absolutely it is. Hey, mate, great to talk to you as always, and good luck on the weekend, buddy.
No worries, boys. Thanks for having me. Cheers.
Corey Gallichan does a great job and in really good form, and that back six is a real vital cog for the South Warnerville Roosters lineup. Let's go to the Portland Tigers now, and this lad, number 4, he has been on fire every game we've called. I like the way he goes about his football. Lockie Huppets is his name, and he's been kind enough to join us. Lockie, how are you, buddy?
Yeah, good, boys. Thanks for having me on. How are you?
Mate, great to have you on. And listen, I know we keep banging on about it. We spoke to Holdy before the game last week. We had Jacko on last week as well. You're 7-1. At the start of the season, if we had sat down and said that, I think you definitely would have given yourself, a big, massive 5 stars.
Look, like 7-1, we can't complain too much with that. But yeah, like we've chatted these last few weeks, and we probably haven't been playing our best footy these last few weeks, really. Just ticking along. And yeah, like probably on the weekend, first loss to Koroit, and yeah, like we probably just kind of thought that it wasn't just that game where we've kind of dropped away. So that's probably like where we're at the moment, is we're just ticking along, and yeah, a few things aren't going to plan. We've probably went away from some of the game style that we want to be playing, and yeah, that's probably where we're going to go from there.
And Lockie, to be honest, and we called the game on the weekend, it was probably just the first quarter. They come out and they flexed a bit of muscle, Koroit. We kind of felt and sensed that's what they were going to do, because they're the big boys. They've won them all, if you know what I mean, and they wanted to flex a little bit of muscle. But to be honest, the next 3 quarters, it was fairly even.
Yeah, look, we probably just didn't make the best of the wins in that first quarter when we had it, and yeah, just a bit slow starting, and like when you come up against a Koroit, it's a little bit different to playing any other side. You know how they've played for the last 5-6 years, and like their track record's good, and playing them at home, it can be a little bit overwhelming for some of the younger boys. And we have a quite young group coming through at the moment, and it was a good learning curve, and it probably came at a good time, having Croydon last week and then going into South Warnerville on the weekend. And we took a lot of positives out of that Croydon game, as you said. And when we play the style we want to play, we've showed we can mix it with any side out there. We've just got to get back to that and what works well for us. And we discussed as a group what works well for a Croydon or a South Warnerville isn't going to work for us. And we've just got to play to our strengths and that positivity and that youth. And I think that's kind of how we'll play our best footy. So we're really looking forward to the challenge this week against South. It'll give us a good indication where we're at and what we've kind of got to do moving forward as well.
I don't want to dwell too much on the weekend, but I really like the way, the first term didn't go your way, Lockie, but I still like that you've never shied away from your game plan. You like that quick ball movement, you like to run in numbers, quick hands and so forth, and you like to use the corridor as well. And I thought, even though you a few goals down, you still didn't go away from what you guys have been doing the last few weeks, which has made you guys successful. So, I thought that was great to watch. And, as Stewie said, the next 3 quarters, you've played a lot better and were probably a lot more, near Croydon than that first term.
Yeah, and it definitely felt that way, and it's something that we've drummed into the group as well. Being so young, we've just got to kind of find our identity and how we want to play in this comp, and if we do that long enough, and it's a long season, we're 8 games in, and to be honest, we're sitting in a pretty good spot. So to see how we want to play and where we can kind of work on from there. It's a good. We've got good upside, and it's exciting for the young group, and I'm just happy to be back in Portland and getting to play with all these people that all my mates I haven't really got to play with for 7 odd years. So yeah, it's a good place to be back.
Well, mate, I was just going to ask you about that. Your footy journey. I know that you played in the GFL with Geelong West. What brought you back to Portland? Was that sort of the trigger to bring you back and play with a few mates? And I think it's great that that you've come back to the Portland Tigers and wanted to play a bit of footy with them.
Yeah. Look, I pretty much as soon as I finished school, I moved away and played a bit of TAC Cup and VFL in Ballarat. And then, just moved across to Geelong to pursue some stuff at uni. Got all that sorted and had the opportunity to come back and work in Portland late last year. And it was a perfect time in my life to get back here as well. And see the family after COVID. I hadn't seen them a lot for the last couple of years. So to get back, and I've still got a lot of my mates from school back here. So it was just the perfect time to come back, and it's just exciting that I've come back at a time where the club's been building something pretty special for the last couple of years, and we've retained a lot of we're pretty proud that we've retained a lot of our local players, and if you look through our list, every player on the list has played juniors footy in Portland, and we've seem to, we've built something internally in Portland, and we're pretty happy with that. We haven't kind of pulled anything from outside of Portland, so we're happy with the homegrown feel that we've got at the footy club as well. So it's a good time to be back, and I think that we're getting good support from the community as well, which is always a big bonus.
Awesome, mate. And I just touched on it before, but I reckon the atmosphere over at Hanlon Park in Portland, the supporters, they get the pop belly going in that shed, and they certainly get behind you boys, that is for sure. I reckon it's worth 2 or 3 goals at least over there on the home deck, isn't it, Lockie?
Yeah, for sure. We were pretty lucky with the support we get from the community, and it does get pretty rowdy in Camp Hill, and we're lucky across the other side of the ground, the under 18s will stick around and they chirp away, which I think the opposition seem to love. So it's good. We've got a nice deck at home, and then when the winds start coming, you get those supporters that might not have come in the pouring rain in the middle of winter now are coming back out, and just enjoying that local feel that you don't get that up in Geelong or in Ballarat. So it's good to be back, and Hampton League's a good comp for that. We do get a good following. So
Good stuff, mate. Well, I'll tell you what, looking forward to the game on the weekend, Lockie, and you're in great nick yourself, mate. So good luck, and thanks for joining us, buddy.
Cheers, boys. See ya.
Yeah, great stuff. Lockie Huppert's there, and good player.
Gun.
Very good player.
He's a very, very good player. Accumulated. And I was watching him on the weekend, just runs. Like, we talked about the Alex Pullings of Koroits and the Josh Saunders. Like, you look at Portland, he's their runner. He's just their one that just doesn't stop.
Yeah, absolutely. Hey, let's have a look back at the weekend round 8 action. Hilly, of course, Portland and the Koroit Saints. And as we said, the Saints came out in the first quarter. They flexed a fair bit of muscle, mate. They just wanted to, I suppose, stamp their authority on the competition. They certainly did that in the first term, didn't they?
Oh, they did, and I think too, obviously, with probably a lot of the media around South Warnerville being undefeated a couple of weeks ago, and obviously the Portland Tigers for the Koroit, they've just been laying nicely, and they certainly came out with a bit of vigour, and they were fantastic.
Yeah, let's have a look at some of the highlights, of course, from our Handball League Live match of the day last weekend out at Victoria Park. And in that first quarter, it was a really impressive performance too. I'm talking about players like Sammy Dobson, Dallas Mooney, Liam Hoy had it on a string in that first term. All the big guns, all the big jets come to play, didn't they?
Yeah, they did. They were strong up forward. Corowa looked dangerous up there. Dobson looked dangerous up there. But I thought their half-back line, just the connection forward for Portland just wasn't happening. And we know Croy get numbers back well. They read the contest well. And Mooney, Ben Dobson, these sort of players, they had a ball on the string.
Absolutely, they did. And, the Lucas brothers snag of the day, too, that was Sammy Dobson from Memory Hilly.
Jira Neve.
Jira Neve.
Nacho High was Sammy
right.
Dobson.
I knew one was the other, but plenty of highlights, and there was plenty of big grabs on the weekend too. And Jennings, he pulled down a couple of absolute screamers, and then you wouldn't believe it. He got overshadowed by Dobson late in the game, who took an absolute screamer.
Probably nearly mark of the day, mark of the year, I should say, from Sammy Dobson. You're right. Toby Jennings, watch this. That's not bad, is it?
That's one right there.
He's an excitement machine. For a bloke who's not overly tall, his leap and vertical jump is unbelievable. Tommy Sharp, I thought, considering the opposition, Timmy McPherson, arguably the best key defender in the competition, to kick 3 goals in a team where they only kick 6 for the day, I thought that was a pretty solid effort.
Oh, it was amazing. And he's just having a fantastic season for me. Here's another one from Jennings. Look at that. So twice in the one day, and he's thinking, you know what, I've got my name on it. And then Dobson goes and does that. That is absolutely magnificent. 3 screamers in the one day. Hampden League footy at its absolute finest, Hilly.
It was unbelievable, and I watched that a few times, that Sam Dobson one. His aerial and just the push-off was sensational. If you get a chance, go onto the Koroit Facebook page, and they've got image by image as it sort of just increases it happening. And it was great to see. And the other one I wanted to make mention to is Connor Byrne. For a kid who's played his third game, he's kicked like 10 goals in 3 games.
He's dangerous. He's a live
unbelievable.
He's good overhead for a little fella.
Yeah, fantastic.
He's only 16 years old too, so good on him. He's got a bright future. And I must admit, I was really impressed with the kids of Koroit. Lloyd's another one that comes in. Mac Peterson. I just reckon these kids have really improved. And kicked on, and it's all bodes well for. Honestly, Hilly, and we're nearly at the halfway mark. I honestly believe they are still the team to beat.
Yep, I agree, absolutely agree. From what I saw, and they've still got players to come back in: Martin, McIntyre, Goodall. But it's going to be hard. Harrington. It's going to be a hard one because they've got so much step with these young ones that are stepping up. They've had Cogler West, Jack Block. There's been a heap of others.
Tommy Bolsh
to come back in as well. So they've got a lot to come back in, the Saints. And
Chrissy McLaren might have a few headaches.
He'll have a few
Not
headaches.
from COVID.
No. He'll have a few headaches, all right. But again, I think, from the sides we've seen almost at the halfway mark, the 3 best sides I've seen, Portland, South and Koroit in no particular order.
Yeah, absolutely. And don't forget the Eagles are building too at the moment. I think they're best. Could blow anyone away.
And the Blues, we can't underestimate the Blues either.
I said it, but people have been asking me everywhere I go, who's going to win it? I reckon anyone in that top 5 on their day can win it.
This year's going to be about luck too. Obviously, with COVID, sickness, injury, availability, luck's going to have a big part of it.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Hey, what about, so we've touched on Matt Kohaya, Lucas Brothers snag of the day, of course, Pit Stop Wednesday MVP. That voting is really hotting up, isn't it, Hilly?
It is. Josh Saunders, 12 votes from Damien McCorkle, 10. And
Damo McCorkle's in great nick.
I can't remember who else was on 10. There was another person on, Alex Pulling on 10, Tommy Sharp on 9, Sam Cowling on 9,
Liam
Hoy on 9, and then Tom Sharp, Daniel Jackson were on 8 votes.
There you go. That is the Pit Stop Menswear MVP. And we will hide those votes from about around 12 this year, Hilly. All right, so we're going to keep them silent and just see who wins it for season 2022. Of course, Jennings won it last year from the Portland Tigers. He had a fantastic season, that is for sure. I just want to give a bit of a shout out to Southwest Tools, Tool of the Week. We had something funny happen in the commentary box. I think we were going to give it to our esteemed colleague Greg Ice-Kelsey.
I think it was Eyes, wasn't it?
Yeah, because he stole me Cruskets. Like, I'm on a health kick, all right? And do you know what? I must admit, I thought to myself, if I bring something good, you know, absolutely, you boys are going to eat it. You know, like if I bring something nice. And I thought to myself, who's going to have a Crusket? A dirty old Crusket with Vegemite. And blowed me down. I turn around and they're gone. The Cruskets are gone. Who eats Cruskets? Seriously, I couldn't believe it. So, Eyes, you are our Southwest Tool of the Week, and a $50 voucher coming your way, all thanks to Paddy Lane and the crew at Southwest Tools. And tomorrow at Southwest Tools, they got their tradie day. And I'm telling you, if you haven't been out there, this is huge. All right, so end of financial year, there's deals across all the big brands. All the big people are there too from all those big brands. You know, you name it. They've what are some of
There's
them?
Makita,
Milwaukee, all those big brands. They are there. So make sure you get out and see Paddy Lane and the crew out at Southwest Tools for their huge tradies day. It is going to be absolutely magnificent. Let's have a look, Hilly, at round 9. It is the halfway point of the season. Our match of the day, obviously, Portland v South Warnerville. We've touched on that. Koroit taking on Warnerville under lights, Reed Oval. First game under lights, Friday night. I love this initiative by the Koroit
I can't wait for this one. I'm going to go up and watch it and have a couple of quiet ones just to watch some good footy.
You.
And I think it's a great initiative. Obviously, we talk about looking outside the box, and this is one thing that Koroit and Warnerville have done really, really nicely. Hopefully a big crowd. That's what I hope. You know, it's going to be a great spectacle on the newly redeveloped Reed Oval. I can't go past Koroit, but I wouldn't underestimate the Blues either. Jay Rowan going very, very nicely, off a bag of 15. Which is an unbelievable
15's
effort.
unbelievable, isn't it?
And I think it narrows it down. I'd have to have the stats, but I reckon he's only needing another 74 or 3 for the record of 1,020 from Tony Russell.
I'll tell you what, I'm just going to have a bit of a look at this, okay, because I got a couple of text messages on Saturday night late in
Well, I
the
know
evening.
we started the season on...
Now, Shooter reckons, so he knows his numbers. Jazz Aferi sent me this, and he was talking to Jace Rowan. He reckons he's now on 961.
961.
And I reckon Rusty's on, the record's
It was
1,020. So that leaves us, what, 79?
39, 59.
Sorry,
so you need
59.
60. Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah, I was trying to work it out. So when I was looking at the
59
records...
goals. Well, what's he kicked so far?
40 odd. 45.
Do you know what? It could actually happen this year. It could honestly happen this year. So there you go. Jace Rowan, wouldn't that be huge? He's in great nick, and it's good to see too for the Hampden Football Netball League. Get up to that Reed Oval. It'll be Koroit's first look at it as well. I know they're excited to get up there and have a look because that's where finals will be played, and especially the grand final. Port Fairy taking on the Hamilton Kangaroos.
Kangaroos, they're building.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing, the Kangas.
Yeah, poor old Port Fairy. I feel for him at the moment. It's
survival mode a little bit at the moment, isn't it?
It is. It's just getting through the year. So hang in there, guys. You're doing a great job, and they're just copping little injuries every week. So it's unfortunate, but they'll be looking for a bit of a break, which comes up in about 3 weeks' time too, just to get everyone back on the park. North Warnerville Eagles Camperdown. Eagles.
Yeah, Eagles for mine. Yeah, too good.
And Terrain Mortlake taking on Cobden. This is a good game.
Yeah, and I think this might have been moved as well. There's a late email coming out this
afternoon. Goes up
afternoon.
to the DC
Farron Oval, just due to the wet and so forth. Going Cobden. Just think...
I'm going to go the Bloods.
I think just,
Causing an upset.
Hard one. It's a 50-50.
It is. I'm going to go Terrain Mortlake in a really close game. Hey, shout out to our sponsors too. McDonald's, of course. We love Mickey D's, and they are hiring at the moment. So if you want a job, get in and see the friendly team at McDonald's. Take a resume in. It is really, really simple. Powercore, of course, they're just a great sponsor and a great supporter. A lot of the boys work out there at that depot as well. Lindot Living, the Pie Night is coming. Mickey McGuire's going to be our special guest. We'll lock that down. We're just waiting for the great man. It'll be a front bar kind of style night there. Chittick's Pies, of course. So Paul and the crew will look after us there, and really looking forward to that. It's going to be a fun evening with the going down memory lane with some of the oldies out there at Lindot.
Oh, they'll love it. They'll reminisce on the days. McGuire took those 6 bounces for the Pies at the G, and Yeah, no, it'd be fantastic. They'll love it.
SunGold, FM flavoured milk, of course. SunGold are just enormous. They have been for a long, long time, and they love supporting anything local. And they've been a great sponsor of the Henderson Football Netball League for such a long, long time. So make sure we support them. You know, at all your clubs, have SunGold milk. It's simple. It's not that hard. They're the ones that are tipping the cash in each and every year to your leagues, your clubs. Okay, don't forget that. And also R&M Security too. Natalie and the team doing a magnificent job. Warnerville Toyota, of course, are a great sponsor of the Henderson Football Netball League. Southwest TAFE too, on board in season 2022. And they've got plenty of course on offer, and there's plenty of opportunities for people to get involved with Southwest TAFE.
Yeah, great organisation. Fidji and the team, they support local. They love it. Great to have them on board.
Got a brand new library coming too, which is just going to be magnificent for this town. That opens up in early September too, so looking forward to that. But Hilly, looking forward to round 9 action, nearly at the halfway mark of the Henderson Football Netball League. Our match of the day, of course, is going to be the Portland Tigers take on the South Warnerville Roosters. We'll see you at the footy of the netball this weekend.